The combination of WD-40 and foam is a unique idea, taking advantage of the lubricating and protective properties of WD-40 along with the lightweight, porous, and absorbent characteristics of foam material. This clever pairing opens up new possibilities for DIY projects, where foam can act as a simple applicator or even a storage medium for WD-40. Let's dive in and see how this idea works in practice. The first step is to cut the foam into small pieces. This makes it easier to handle and helps the material absorb the WD-40 more evenly, ensuring better application later on. After cutting the foam into smaller pieces, the next step is to combine it with WD-40. Take one piece of foam, simply spray a generous amount onto foam, and let it soak in. As the WD-40 seeps into foam, you can see the surface darken slightly, showing that the liquid has been absorbed. The foam becomes a little heavier and softer to the touch, but it still keeps its spongy texture. There's no dripping, because the porous structure of the foam holds the WD-40 inside, almost like a tiny reservoir. This reaction makes the foam an excellent carrier, allowing the WD-40 to be applied smoothly and evenly. Once the foam has completely dissolved into the WD-40, the mixture changes its texture. Instead of remaining a thin liquid, it becomes thicker and more viscous, almost like glue. The solution looks stickier, and when touched, it stretches slightly rather than dripping. This new consistency gives the mixture unique properties, making it easier to stay in place when applied to the surface. After mixing thoroughly, the result is a sticky paste that combines the lubricating power of WD-40, the bonding texture of the dissolved foam, and the stabilizing effect of baking soda. This unique compound is not just thicker, but also more durable, making it useful as a quick DIY repair material. It can be applied to small cracks, gaps, or loose joints, where it hardens slightly and helps hold parts together. At the same time, it still keeps some of WD-40's protective and anti-rust qualities, making it especially handy for fixing and maintaining metal objects. The fan blade is made of lightweight plastic with a slightly curved shape that helps push air forward. One of the blades, however, is damaged. A small section at the tip has broken off. The brake leaves behind a jagged edge, making the blade look uneven compared to the others, although most of the fan remains intact. This single flaw stands out clearly, showing where the blade has lost its original smooth contour. The first step is to reattach the two broken pieces using super glue. Apply a thin line of glue along the cracked edge of the blade. Then, carefully press the broken part back into its original position, making sure it aligns perfectly with the rest of the blade. Hold it firmly for a few moments until the glue sets, creating a stable bond. Next, use a stapler pin to fasten the two parts together for extra strength. Take a small metal stapler pin and place it across the crack on the blade. Then, use a soldering iron to gently press on the pin, heating it until it begins to sink into the plastic surface. As the plastic softens, the pin embeds itself firmly, acting like a bridge that locks both sides together. Repeat the same process with several more stapler pins along the length of crack. Place each pin at equal spacing. Then heat them with the soldering iron until they sink into the plastic. Once cooled, the plastic hardens again, leaving the pin securely fused inside, giving the joint much greater strength and durability. Next, there is still a section of the fan blade that is broken away, leaving a gap on the surface. First, take a small piece of wire mesh and place it over the broken section of the fan blade. Shape the mesh so that it follows the contour of the blade, covering the gap completely. This mesh acts as a supporting frame, giving the damaged area a solid base. Next, use a soldering iron to secure the wire mesh onto the fan blade. Gently press the heated tip along the edges of the mesh so that the surrounding plastic softens and grips the metal in place. Now, fill the prepared mixture onto the wire mesh that has been fixed in place. Spread it carefully, making sure the compound seeps through the holes of the mesh and bonds with the plastic beneath. Layer by layer, cover the entire broken section until the surface is even with the rest of the blade. As the mixture begins to set, gently smooth it out to match the original curve of the fan blade. The use of foam in repairing a fan blade plays an important role. Because foam is extremely lightweight, it helps rebuild the missing section without adding too much extra weight. In a fan, balance is critical. If one blade becomes heavier than the others, the entire fan can start to wobble and vibrate during rotation. By using foam as a base material, the repaired blade remains close in weight to the original design, maintaining proper aerodynamics and ensuring smoother airflow. This makes foam an ideal choice for restoring shape while keeping the fan stable. As the repaired section begins to harden, spray a light coat of WD-40 over the surface. The liquid helps smooth out any small imperfections, giving the patch a more even finish. It also reduces surface friction, allowing air to glide more smoothly across the blade during rotation. After one full day, the foam has completely dried. The surface feels firm to the touch, no longer soft or sticky. Once the repair compound is fully set, trim away any excess material that extends beyond the original outline of the blade. Use a sharp cutter or a small file to carefully remove the extra edges. Cutting off the excess material is surprisingly easy because the foam inside keeps the structure lightweight and soft enough to shape. Unlike solid plastic or metal, it doesn't resist the blade. Instead, it trims smoothly with very little effort. This simplicity is all thanks to the foam, which not only reduces weight for better balance, but also makes the repair process much more manageable. After trimming the excess, use fine sandpaper to smooth out the surface. Gently rub along the repaired area until it blends seamlessly with the rest of the blade. The foam-based compound sands down easily, allowing you to shape it precisely without much force. In just a short time, the blade regains its clean, aerodynamic contour, ready for use once again. The fan blade looks almost as if it were never damaged. The patched area blends in smoothly with the rest of the surface, following the natural curve of the blade. The edges are clean and even, with no rough fragments or sharp corners left behind. When touched by hand, the repaired section feels firm and solid, almost the same as the original plastic. Running your fingers across the blade, the transition between the old material and the repaired area is barely noticeable, giving a sense of continuity and stability. In the end, this DIY repair restores both the function and appearance of the fan blade. Thanks to the lightweight foam, the balance between all three blades is maintained, preventing wobbling during rotation. The combination of foam, WD-40, and baking soda creates a strong, moldable compound that fills gaps and reinforces weak points. With careful trimming, sanding, and finishing, the repaired blade looks smooth and aerodynamic, ready to deliver steady airflow once again. This simple yet effective method shows how creative use of everyday materials can save broken items and extend their life. This step restores the blade's original shape, preventing uneven airflow. Since each blade spins at high speed, even a small difference in weight can cause vibration or wobbling. By using foam, the repaired blade stays lightweight and close in weight to the original design, keeping the balance across all three blades intact. This balance ensures smooth rotation and stable airflow, just like when the fan was new.